can't believe that it is day 31, the last day of our December advent calendar, where I read a full-length story every day this month. That does not mean the full-length stories are going to stop though. So if you are enjoying them, don't worry, more is coming. It might not be every single day, but it absolutely will be happening. Let's see what we have on our final day. My sister eloped and just broke all contact with me. This story, recent times. This one is fresh. We are in the thick of it. November 23rd, 2025. Apologies in advance if this post seems disorganized. My head is still reeling from all of this. 9 years ago, I was 18 then, my older sister eloped with her then boyfriend. Our parents, we are an immigrant family, were opposed to a relationship. I remember me being okay with it personally, as it wasn't my place. She eloped with her boyfriend and cut off all contact with us. My parents were beside themselves. I tried reaching out to her back then on different platforms, but I was blocked. I even reached out to her best friends and I asked them if they could at least get me in touch with her. They said they didn't know where she lived now, but that she had told them she was happy. She had also left her workplace. Eventually, me and my parents, came to like an unspoken agreement to pretend that she was just never here, and I also blocked her everywhere too. That's crazy. One day you have a sister, she has a boyfriend that obviously the family doesn't agree with. She says, all right, see ya, gets married, elopes, blocks you, never talks to you again. That's wild. I remember being extra particular to call regularly when I was in college because I was worried about their state of mind. We're now at a place where I can't remember the last time she crossed our minds. What? Yesterday, my sister knocked on my apartment door. She cried and hugged me when she saw me. I hugged her back initially too. I wasn't really thinking at the time. She was just going on and on about how much I had changed and how she had missed me all these years. Eventually, I kind of remembered everything and I asked her why she was here and who had given her my address. She said she had sworn to them that she wouldn't tell. I asked her why she didn't call first, since whoever gave my address probably gave her my phone number too. She said she just wanted to see me in person. I told her we had gotten over her and why was she here? She said her issue had only been with our parents, not me. I told her about how I had been blocked too by her when she left. She told me that she was sorry she hurt me, but that she wanted a fresh start. Told me I was an uncle. Oh, why did I think you were a sister? Oh, here I was, that was an assumption. I just was picturing sisters in my head. She told me I was an uncle to a nephew and a niece. They weren't there at the time. They were at their father's, who she was recently divorced from. She acted surprised that I wouldn't know and said that she told someone to tell our parents about them. Maybe it was hearing about the divorce that frustrated me more, because if we were going to have gone through all of this pain, at least she could have found lasting happiness. I just told her she was a stranger to me now. She said we could have lunch together because she wanted to know all about what I had been up to. I told her it was best if we continued with no contact. She didn't act like an older sister when I needed her to, and that we were no longer family. We had mourned her already, and we are now strangers. She was tearful. She gave me her address and phone number and left. Last night, I spoke to my girlfriend about what had happened. She said that she was still my sister and that I shouldn't have just turned her away. I told her she didn't know what we had gone through in the days after she had eloped, but I still want to know, am I the a-hole? This is wild. All right, let's see what the people of Reddit are saying. Someone commented and said, what are your parents' thoughts? How do they feel about a potential reconciliation? OP responded, I haven't told them about this. I don't see the point, I guess. They made their peace with her absence a while back. We all did. Next comment. What is it that you want to achieve? This is crucial to answering your question. OP said, I don't know. I really had internalized that I would never see her again. I remember the hurt that I had felt at the time. I don't want to lose my headspace, and I don't want to act like everything I went through was okay, that it shouldn't have any meaning or consequences. else. And of course, I want her and her kids to be safe and happy too. What's also really annoying is that if her and her partner weren't getting divorced, you would probably not be hearing from her. She's only at your doorstep because her relationship fell apart. She abandoned you all for this relationship, and now that the relationship didn't work, she's like, hey, what's up? I missed you. Next comment, did she even apologize, or did she do the classic, it's been such a long time, you should just be over it by now? If there is no sincerity, there's no trust that she won't ghost you again. She owes you a full and frank conversation about what happened, her actions, her motivations, and why she has continued to block you. Without that, you really have nothing to work with. Good luck. OP said she did apologize. She said that she was sorry that she had cut me off, that she never meant for us to lose touch, and that her beef was with our parents only. I brought up that she had blocked me everywhere, and she was just sobbing and saying she was sorry. I also remember me begging her best friends for info and them saying that they had no idea, which I have always suspected was them lying because she asked them to. Probably. They're like, well, my loyalty is with my friends, so I'm not gonna tell you. Next comment, not the a-hole. She broke all contact with you for nearly a decade. She treated you as if you were disposable. There was no relationship to salvage. She doesn't get to decide to pick you up again just because it works for her. I'm guessing she's decided now's a good time because she's getting divorced and in essence needs something like time, attention, connection from you. Ask yourself, if she weren't getting divorced, would she have reached out? You need to figure out who shared your address with her. That's what I was saying. OP said, I hadn't thought of this and I've been feeling sick thinking this might be true since I read this. That she wouldn't have ever reached out if she hadn't gotten divorced recently. Would have been fine without ever seeing me again. Although she didn't ask for anything material during our interaction, I guess. She wanted lunch. She thought after 9 years of almost forgetting that I had a sister, I would be okay with lunch. That would be the most uncomfortable. You're literally a stranger. Like, I was 18 when you left. I have built a whole life over the last 9 years. We're gonna catch up over a lunch? Next comment. I wonder if her boyfriend turned husband made her block you all. Could it be that getting away from him might be why she was able to reach out? Interesting perspective. Maybe he was controlling. OP said, I don't know. Back then, she would vouch for him a lot in front of our parents who really thought he was bad news, so I don't know. She seemed like it was all on her own terms though. We got more comments because people keep asking questions and it gives us more information. Next comment, absolutely not the a-hole. When will people start accepting the consequences of their actions, and why do people think they can tell you how you should have responded to her? Your girlfriend should have kept her mouth shut and just held you and let you talk and have been there for you. I wouldn't tell your parents you saw her either. That's a band-aid you don't want to rip off. I forgot about that part. Should he tell his parents? Ooh, I don't know. OP said, I won't be telling my parents. If she reached out to me, she could reach out to them the same way, though she told me she won't be reaching out to them and that she only wanted to reach out to me. Next comment, not the a-hole, but that's a tough situation to be in. Out of curiosity, why didn't the family accept her then boyfriend? Cultural, religious, age. OP said they just didn't think he would make a good partner, I think. She had been vouching for him, and they, particularly my mom, would be telling her that essentially he's only interested in sex, to put it crudely. There may have been other subconscious reasons, possibly, I don't know, but at least when they talked about it, they would only bring up that he was bad news and that they were just looking out for her. Last comment, someone said, keep in mind that she might have cut you off because she was scared you would tell your parents anything that she told you. OP said, no, we had covered for each other so often when I was young. She had covered for me too. There was stuff that I could only tell her that could not have been a real fear. I'd even told her friends that I wouldn't tell our parents, but at least ask her to meet up with me. I'm sorry sorry if I sound pointed, but I haven't had to remember all of the BS I went through in the aftermath of her elopement in a while, and it's just crazy how she ditched us all. I don't think I can see her. I have been thinking about it, but meeting her just means everything she put us through was fine. I remember how I felt at that time, and I cannot let it go. But we have some updates. We're drinking water first. Sorry. Sucks to be you watching this video because the rules here are you need to drink water. I'll never know if you do or not, but that's the rule. Cheers. What? Almost caught Matt making fun of me before I started this video. Do it again.
Hey guys, it's Joss here. Just got my new camera. So excited to try it out. Just wanted to show you guys. Thanks, y'all. Love you. Kisses.
Pretty good. I killed that. Anyways, I wanted to show you guys, as you saw in the other video, I told you I was waiting for a Boxing Day sale to get an actual vlogging camera for the new channel. Look at her. Watch. Wait for it. Oh, hold on. I'm learning. Oh, hold on. It's hard to do with one hand. Ready? So I can film like this for YouTube, or I can film like this for TikToks. It's a gimbal. The gimbal will just track my face so that I'm in focus the whole time. It came with this little microphone and it's very small. So when I'm in public, I can actually take this attachment off at the bottom. It's tiny. So without that, look how small it is. So I can be in public being like, ooh, 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 and no one, well, I'm sure people will know, but it won't be as embarrassing for me. Isn't she so cute? Next update was 4 days later, November 27th. I'd been emotionally drained almost after meeting my sister. Like I said, I had made my peace after a lot of hurt and hope that I would never see her again. She had my number and I hadn't blocked the new number of hers. I thought about it and received advice too, but I just didn't. It slipped my mind. She asked me on Tuesday how I was doing and asked if we could meet on Wednesday. She really wanted me to meet her kids. I was really conflicted. I didn't want to oblige her, but I decided to say yes to at least meet them. I went to her apartment yesterday and I met my niece and nephew. My niece has recently turned 9 and my nephew is 6. So she eloped and had a baby when she left. They're great kids and I really enjoyed seeing them. I remember feeling a certain way when my sister was introducing me and she told him that he's my niece's younger brother. Similarly, I am her younger brother. We talked a bit and started talking about stories from us growing up. I hadn't and still haven't said everything's okay between us, but our stories and conversation went smoothly. I learned that after she eloped and got married, she had moved in with her husband into his place in a town a few hours away from us. Around 2019, they had moved to the city we are currently in. According to her, she didn't know all this time that I later moved here for work after college too. I told her about what I had been up to all these years, my college, my job, my girlfriend, etc. After that, the kids were in their room and my sister brought up all of us doing something again over the weekend. I told her we weren't okay and she can't expect me to forget everything. She said she was sorry that her moving out had nothing to do with me and that she missed me. I was angry at the fact that she had no idea the pain I had gone through, both personally and then having to be the crutch for my parents' pain. I told her I didn't believe her, that she would have been perfectly fine with never seeing me again if she hadn't gotten divorced, and that I could have been dead and she probably wouldn't have broken a sweat upon learning it since she was so blissed out from her domestic life. I know it was ugly. I've never said anything like this, but in that moment, I just wanted her to feel some kind of hurt, similar to the kind she had given me. She broke down and said, I can hate her if I want to, but just not hate her forever. There has to be a limit. I regretted saying what I said when I saw her crying, so I just sat next to her and asked about why they got divorced. She told me that their life had been going all right the first few years. She said she even sent word through a mutual friend when the kids were born, which either the mutual friend messed up or my sister did because we never heard about it. She said when COVID happened, her marriage became hell for her, that it had uncovered a side of her ex she never knew. He became abusive, had disdain for their son, revealed he used to record every single conversation of theirs, had convinced her she was crazy, and a bad wife and a mother. that she stuck with him because of the kids until she had had enough, and that a very good neighbor of theirs, whom she had become friends with, gave her a lot of support and even helped line her up with a job. During all of this, she even blamed our parents for her sticking with the marriage for so long and for not reaching out. I told her that they had literally pleaded with her not to do this. I was also there, and I was 18 years old, not 8. She said they told her she was dead to them if she ran off with him, and so she blamed them for her not being able to leave him. I told her that was insane logic, and she just didn't want to talk to them and asked me not to tell them about her. I said, yeah, her relationship with them is her own. I also asked her who had given her my address. She begged me not to ask her that and that they haven't given it easily. She said she swore to secrecy and cried and convinced them that I would want to see my older sister, so I just dropped it. I don't know, I just don't like how this is going. I don't like the excuses, how she's like trying to flip the situation back on your parents, how she won't tell you how she got your address. Like, I don't know. Where is this relationship really gonna go if we can't be honest and take accountability? We had tea and snacks after that, and she asked me again if I wanted to do anything this weekend since she has the kids, or we could do something the weekend after, just the two of us. I said, I don't know. She was okay with that answer. She was tearful again when I was leaving. We hugged, and I hugged the kids goodbye too. My mind has been a mess since then. I lashed out and everything, but I also regretted what I said. But then I also tried to remember how I had felt back then, and then I got angry again. It feels so weird knowing that she's now 20 minutes away from me and we can just visit each other whenever. I told my girlfriend about all this. She said she supports me no matter what, but in her opinion, to consider the weekend plan with a cool mind. We've got one top comment on this post, and then we got another update because it does not end there. Someone commented and said, I'm glad you and your sister talked. I'm late to the party, but I was in a similar boat recently, and my sister is now married to a woman. That's a great moment to just hear out one another on what's happened. One another's view doesn't mean you're forced to do anything, but at least you have the ability to decide if this is something you could pursue. My sister came from a DV relationship, and so did I. The fact that we're both still alive and able to talk about our crappy parents is a huge support beam in my system. She is still recovering, and so am I, but we have one another, and she had her awesome wife. Just take some time off the internet and enjoy a day where you relax, go out for a nice coffee and lunch, maybe to the park, all on your own, and just think. Allow yourself to cry in your car, talk to yourself, a day with self-care, or maybe a day in, cuddling up with warm pillows, creating and drawing. But I really recommend getting out of the house and off the internet. Dopamine media detox for a day basically, and just let yourself feel and think. I mean, I understand if she, around the pandemic when it said he started becoming abusive and things, I understand that that's a difficult position. And there's a lot in there when you are in an abusive relationship. But she's saying that that happened during the pandemic. She started to see that side of him, and the first few years were great. So she wasn't in one, according to her, when she made those decisions. And maybe that's why he's having a hard time being like, well, in 2020, or before 2020, like, why did you cut me off immediately kind of thing? I don't know. That's so tricky. That's so tricky. The next update was 11 days later, very recently. It is now December 8th, 2025. A few people had asked how things have gone, so I told my sister I couldn't spend Thanksgiving weekend with her, partly because maybe I still wasn't in the right headspace for something like that, and also because I had to go to my parents for that weekend, and normally when I go there, I usually end up staying over for the entire weekend. She said okay, asked me not to tell them that she was back in my life. I said fine, it wasn't my place, and besides, my parents have come to terms with her absence a while back. It was a bit surreal for sure to be with my parents and to have this secret with me. We were spending the weekend like a complete family while my sister was at her apartment, and knowing this was weird. When I was back, she asked if I wanted to hang out the next weekend, the one that had just passed. Her kids would be with their dad, so the two of us could just hang out. I know what a lot of commenters had said, and I appreciate all their advice, but I had tried to clear my head, and my girlfriend had just told me to do whatever makes me happy. I did think about it, and I honestly decided that hanging out with her on Saturday Saturday would make me happier than not doing it. It wasn't about her, it was for myself. So I went to her apartment on Saturday. She asked me how our parents were doing. I said they're doing well now. Since she was the one who mentioned them, I asked her if she wanted to reconnect with them. It might be better for both her and maybe them, but she said no and just repeated that line about them saying that she was dead to them. It was clearly something in the heat of the moment, but I didn't push it on her again. We just went to the mall, bought some clothes, and then had dinner at her place and watched a movie. It was a light hangout in general. The conversation flowed smoothly. It obviously wasn't like it used to be, partly because I still keep thinking about how I felt when she had left us and about how I had to support our parents emotionally in the aftermath, and partly because she's changed a bit. She's a lot more anxious and nervous now than I remember her, but in general, it was a chill hangout. I did bring up that I would like to know who gave her my address. At this point, I didn't regret that they had given it to her, but still, they shouldn't do that. She got defensive and begged me not to ask her that they hadn't just given it easily. She had to plead and cry and promise that she would take a rejection if that's what I did, and that she has sworn secrecy. So again, I dropped it. It's whatever, I guess. I left and we said we'll meet up again soon. I had received a lot of comments and saying that I was stupid, that I had no self-esteem, and that I was being used. I would just like you to understand that this isn't an abstract concept for me like it might be for you. This is my sister. The same sister who I grew up with, who helped me with school projects and helped me out in a ton of ways when I was growing up. And yes, the same sister who ghosted us for 9 years. I'm still angry about that, but like I said, I'm only doing what I want for myself, not out of guilt now. And look, so far I'm down to subway fares worth of dollars to visit her and a few hours at the mall. I'm fine with that loss. If after all of this, she ups and ghosts me again in the future for whatever reason, I've made peace with that, and may we all get what we deserve in that case. Thank you all for the help. Curious to know your thoughts and how you would have handled this situation if one of your siblings did this. Very curious what you think. So I'll see you in the comment section. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy. Bye.